right, welcome everybody to another episode here on the Digital Trade Show podcast. I'm here live in Columbus, Ohio at the ADHA annual session. Lots of hygienists, lots of great companies, and I'm very, very excited to have a guest who I've known for some time with us here on the Digital Trade Show, Gaylene Baker from Crosstex. Hi, Gaylene.
Hey, John. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. We were just kind of like partly laughing because obviously Crosstex is all about infection control, and probably important that people take infection control seriously.
It is. Infection control is an aspect of healthcare and dental healthcare as well that touches everybody. It touches the clinician, it touches the patient, and it touches the community at large if you're not practicing infection control properly. And oftentimes, infection control practices and procedures are done outside the direct vision of our patients and the people we're caring for. And they really rely on the clinicians in the office to be practicing those procedures and those protocols properly and keeping them safe. And as far as our clinicians, we want them to be safe as well. We want them to have a long, happy, productive career and not be exposed to any potential pathogens that can cause harm to them.
Absolutely. And it's one of those things, Gaylene, that because it's invisible, right? Or so many of the things that cause problems are invisible. It just goes away. But certainly in the industry that we're in and working in the dental practice, it's so crucial with all the people that pass through and all that stuff. So what I think is so cool, before we get into some of the specific great things about Crosstex is your story. So I think I've had the opportunity to have a lot of people on, and you are a hygienist.
I am.
So you have that clinical experience. Now you're working with a company, which I always think adds so much more credibility. It's easier for you to connect with the hygienists and the people you're talking about. So let's talk a little bit about you and your story and how you got to where you are.
Awesome. Yeah, so I practiced clinical dental hygiene for 27 years and was just feeling with myself that I needed more. I needed something beyond clinical dental hygiene. And I've been with Crosstex now 9 years, and the person that hired me had run a program with another company with clinical hygienists. And when they were ready to fill the sales role in Chicago, he said, I know I want a hygienist in that position because I know what hygienists are capable of. Looking back now, I do think that it was me that should have been developing my career all along, and I shouldn't have allowed myself to get into that lull of feeling like I was in a rut. That was really my responsibility, and changing careers is not necessarily always the solution to that. It was my solution to it, but my advice to hygienists now is work consistently on yourself, on your ability to negotiate with your employer, on the things that you need as a hygienist to keep you motivated in your career. And if it ever is time to switch completely out of clinical hygiene, continue to work on those skill sets as well that will allow you to transition out of that and into something that you love.
Sure.
And one of the things I love most about the job I have is really bringing information and education to dental offices, hygienists, dentists, dental assistants on infection control and infection prevention. And sometimes when they get that aha moment, I'm like, oh, they get it. I made a difference in somebody's life. And that's really, as a hygienist, that's always what we're trying to do. We're trying to make a difference in somebody's life, make them healthier, make them understand something. And it really, that's what brings me the most value about my job. And that's probably what I needed more as a clinical hygienist, but I'm getting that now in this role.
I think what is so exciting, empowering, and encouraging for the industry, for hygienists as a whole, is they have individuals like yourself who went through this. And maybe when you were doing that, there wasn't as much or as many resources, and so you kind of had to learn as you went. I mean, you've always had mentors, I'm sure, but now you're able to share that message with a lot of hygienists, and how valuable is that? It really is.
Yeah, so I have always had mentors, and I still have mentors, and I have mentors in different aspects of my career as well, and I am now able to feel comfortable mentoring other hygienists as well, and helping them develop what it is that they think that they're interested in doing, finding their passion and their happy place with their career.
Yep. All right, so obviously a lot of buzz here, a lot of hygienists coming to the booth. How's it been? What kind of conversations are you guys having?
Yeah. So we're having great conversations with hygienists here at the ADHA. Since I've been with Crosstex, I've been with them 9 years, without really counting every single acquisition that they've had since I've been there. I think we're on number 10 now. So they are really a growing company, and they're expanding and trying to bring new innovative products. One of our newest ones is called SafeFlow, which is a backflow prevention device for saliva ejectors, both low speed and high volume saliva ejectors. They have a one-way valve. This is one sample here we have. This is an all-in-one, so it's a saliva ejector that's attached to a backflow prevention device. And they also have the backflow prevention device that you can utilize your own saliva ejector in if you choose to do that. But the most important thing is there's a valve in here that if the patient closes their lips on the saliva ejector, that negative pressure that's created, there's a valve here that prevents any suck back into the patient's mouth. So from an infection control standpoint, that's so important because we can tell our patients, don't close your mouth on the saliva ejector.
Right.
We can tell them that, but we can't control what they do.
Sure.
So it's important for us, again, the patients don't understand what's going on. And it's not necessarily anything we even want to try to explain to our patients, but it's still our job to make sure that they're protected during their clinical procedures.
Right.
Yeah, so that has been a great conversation piece with the hygienist here. Even talking to the hygienist about how to go back and speak with their doctor, the ordering specialist at their office on why they need this product in there and how it's going to make them a higher end, better dental office for their customers.
Yeah, absolutely. Well. You've got some other props with you.
I do. I brought a couple other ones. This is a new one that we have as well. This is our Access nitrous oxide delivery system. So most nitrous delivery systems, the mask is considerably larger than this. This is a nice pliable device that fits on the patient, and all of this tubing here replaces what I call the octopus tubing of a traditional nitrous delivery system.
Right.
So it makes it much lighter weight and much more comfortable for the patient. So this one happens to be mint scented. This goes on the patient's nose, and then it goes over their ears, and then it is cinched up here. And so it cinches in the front.
Oh, got it.
So it's much more comfortable for the patient, and it gives the clinician access into the oral cavity to see what they're working on. A lot of times when I talk to hygienists or to dentists, I ask them, do you offer your patients nitrous oxide? And they'll say, I'm always trying to talk my patient out of nitrous oxide.
Right.
Why?
Right.
Why? You want a really comfortable experience for your patient when they're in the dental office. And they will say, it's because I don't want to have to work around that bulky nose piece. I can't see what I'm doing. With this allows them the ability to do that, to have a more comfortable experience for their patient. And we know from a marketing standpoint, our best marketing is the word of mouth of our current patient.
Absolutely.
That they've had a wonderful experience
Sure.
at the office.
Sure.
So when we're done with this little nasal mask here is removed. This can be thrown away. It's a single use. And then this tubing can be reprocessed in a sterilizer.
Excellent.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
a really
that's
great,
cool.
cost-effective way for a dental office to offer nitrous oxide for their patients. So their treatment is more comfortable. They have a better experience at the office, and still allow the clinician the ability to see what they're doing.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. I saw
Yeah.
that, and that's the first thing that came to my brain when you put that on. I was like, how nice. I got the access there.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's so much more comfortable too. And when the patient moves their head, it tracks with them. You don't have to readjust that nitrous mask all of the time.
Yeah, that's great. I'm sure the hygienists are very excited about that.
They are. We've had a lot of hygienists that are very excited about this access delivery system, and it's the introductory price on this is very affordable to get offices started. and they are excited to take that back to their offices and present it to their doctors to get it going up in the office. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Anything else that's going? I mean, product-wise, I mean, this is really exciting. But I don't know if there anything additional that you guys have.
Yeah, so we have one of our other products that we acquired about 4 years ago is called Dentapure. So there's been a lot of news lately about the dental unit water lines. Okay, so some of those things that the patient, again, isn't aware of, and oftentimes the clinicians think the fact that they're using a bottle system on their dental unit and they're putting a quality water in there, that they're providing quality water for their patients. But as the water travels through the dental line, the tubing that is attached to the bottle, before it leaves the line and exits from the air water syringe or from the ultrasonic scaler or the high-speed handpiece, that tubing, because it's dark and moist and has a low flow rate and it's warm and there's periods of stagnation, it can grow biofilm. And so then you have this really great quality source water, but it's traveling over something that's really dirty. So when it's leaving the unit, it's not really quality source water. So we have this little product here. This is called Dentapure, and it is so simple. It was originally designed for use on space shuttles. It's still utilized on the International Space Station to keep our astronauts safe, so they're not getting sick in outer space. This attaches to the pickup tubing in the bottle, and then this little thing here is our Dentapure. This gets twirled in, and as the water travels through, it emits an all-natural antimicrobial that prevents the biofilm from growing in the dental unit water line. So when you start with good source water, you will end with good source water. And the really neat thing about this is, in 1 year, we will remind the customer that it's time to change the Dentapure, and all they have to do is twirl this out. And this can be just wrapped up like in a paper towel and go in regular trash. And then they twirl the new one in, they register it again, and they're good for another year. So it puts all of their operatories on the same system. You don't have to worry that this one operatory is getting a tablet in the water bottle every time and this one isn't. You don't have to worry about shocking or testing or doing a lot of other things that you need to do to be in compliance with your dental unit water lines. So it's very safe, simple, efficient, and compliant.
That's a given. I mean, I don't know why everybody would not.
Just to put everybody on the same protocol and know that the protocol is actually being followed to meet your regulations for safe water delivery to the patient.
Absolutely. You know, I think of what's so interesting is I'm sitting here listening to you, and it just reiterates to me the value of somebody like yourself as a hygienist and being able to not only speak about the features and benefits of the product, but because you've been there, you know it, you understand it, and I'm sure that just makes it heck of a lot easier for those that want to learn about what you guys have.
Yeah, it really does. Working in a dental office where we utilize temping services from other hygienists as well, and where I've actually temped, just seeing that their protocols can be all over the place. And if you have a high staff turnover, a lot of different staff coming into your office, because a lot of hygienists work part-time, even if they work in the same dental office. They might work Mondays and Wednesdays, and another hygienist works Tuesdays and Thursdays. And they're utilizing your operatory, or you're utilizing the same operatory, but making sure that it's compliant every time it's in use. And that's just the easiest way to do it. It just helps with the record keeping for the office and the efficiency, not having to reorder all the time, not trying to have to write a protocol. This is our protocol. And once a year, you just replace it and you're good to go again.
Simple stuff.
Yep.
All right, Gaylene, so how can everybody out there learn more about Crosstex and products and how to order them and all that good stuff?
Very good question. We have a great resource. We have our Crosstex Learning Center. So you can go to crosstexlearning.com, and there's all sorts of opportunities for hygienists, assistants, and dentists to learn about safe practices, how to utilize Dentapure, and what dental unit waterline, the science behind dental unit waterlines as well. Learn about nitrous oxide delivery and all of that. We also have our Crosstex website. They've just redesigned that, and it's really nice. It has all of our different categories on there. For dentistry, they would click on dental and they could bring up all the literature, all the videos, and the resources that we have available. And we're sold through distribution, so anytime you have a sales rep that comes into your office, if you want to learn more about Crosstex products, and just ask your distribution rep to put you into contact with your Crosstex rep, and they should be able to do that for you.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I mean, this has been great, and again, I think like we started this whole conversation with infection control, and the fact that you have a company like Crosstex that is always, I mean, that's what you guys do. That's what they're thinking about, making sure that there's always the right products. It's exciting to know that there's these little tiny things that can certainly make a big difference.
Makes a big impact, and I always tell people we're making the things to keep you safe, so you don't have to worry about it all the time. And the best tagline out there is because safety matters.
Absolutely.
It does matter a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I tell my kids. I'm always like, safety first.
Yes, absolutely. That's
the
why
one
we wear
thing
our
they listen
helmets.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, well, before we go, real quick, I wanted to just talk a little bit about this meeting. I mean, you've been involved with the ADHA, I'm sure, for many years, and it's been very exciting. It seems like it's more than just the CE courses and getting to learn about companies like Crosstex and all your products, but it just seems to be like there's a lot of networking going on and a lot of encouraging things for people that are a part of this meeting.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a really great opportunity for hygienists to come and network, to look for other opportunities. They can be little opportunities and big opportunities here. But the thing I always tell people is get involved in your association. They are there to help you with your professional career, whether that's a clinical career or beyond that career. There's a lot of mentoring available out there through the association, and networking is the way that you find your mentors, or the way you find the people that will help you as an individual and professionally grow and develop and be the best that you can be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks,
it's so
John.
exciting to see you again, and really appreciate you coming on the podcast and talking about what you're doing. We've got loud bangs going on, so we got all kinds of fun things here at the meeting. But good luck the rest of the show, and wish you the best.
Yeah.